Oh, it's in the back.
All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to the Real Precious Network. We are back. We was just here last night, and we are back tonight because we work hard over here. Okay, we work hard over here. Back with the men's panel. It's been a couple of weeks. I apologize. Thank you for bearing with me, but I'm glad that you guys are back. We're gonna have a good show tonight. How are you guys doing, Mr. Arpane and Leon? How are you guys doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. Now, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad you're having the show, but yeah, hey, listen, we just feel like a hole that's missing when we don't have the show. So, oh, look at that big gaping black hole she's leaving us with, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just rubbing it in. I know you're busy, so I know that. So I pop in once in a while on those shows you had before. I know it's a lot of work there. Then got to come right back, but we're men. We're not high maintenance. You know what I'm saying? We're men. We're not high maintenance.
Y'all just take any old thing. Yeah. Whatever you got.
That's it. Just come as you are, baby. Yes, that's what we are.
I appreciate you guys. Leon, how are you this evening, sir?
I am doing good. Just got off an interview which you were part of.
Yes, it was awesome.
Arpane, if you get a chance, go to I'll send the link in the chat. Agree to disagree. YouTube page. They interviewed me today at 7 o'clock. And so we were talking about my journey, and they were asking all the tough questions, and I was in the hot seat a little bit. So
right? Oh, that's cool. Put the link back. So it's as a podcast.
Yeah. Let me find. I'll put it in the back chat.
Yeah, I have to look more into their, because I've never even, I don't even know who they are. So you sending me their link or sending me the link to the show, even shared their platform because I've never heard of them. But it was a great interview. You did an awesome job. It flowed very well. It was, part of the reason why we were a little late. I'm just kidding. No, I was having technical difficulties. We have to get rid of StreamYard. StreamYard, you gotta go, but I have to learn another platform. StreamYard has to go. I'm sorry. So I really need to learn another platform. But while we're here, we're gonna have an amazing show this evening. Thank you guys for watching. I see Fishing the Fit in the building. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notifications so you know when we go live. Wednesdays is our men's forum, and I have a couple of videos that I saw online where I was like, you know what? Let me bring it to the guys. Let me see what they feeling here. And get into, we don't like to point the finger, but we do like to point out the behaviors. And so we try to, I know how y'all get, sometimes I just be up here like, I don't argue with men. Okay. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to agree to disagree, and then we're going to have a good night. That's what we're going to do. So I saw these videos. The first one is lengthy. Okay. It's about 4 minutes long, but we're going to stop it in between so we can have some conversation in the chat and on the platform. Okay. So this lady talks about how she was going out to lunch and a man approaches her at the bar.
Girl, tell me why I turn around. And then she was like, I'm his wife. Yesterday, I was supposed to be meeting with a previous coworker. We had planned on going to lunch. However, his day didn't pan out the way it was supposed to. So I said, you know what? Let me still take myself out for lunch. I ended up going to Chopping Block. If you know, you know. While I'm at Chopping Block, I'm sitting there. I order my food to go. But while I'm waiting, I decide to sit at the bar to grab a drink. Now, I'm sitting. I got some water on the back. So if y'all hear it, simmering, that's why it is. I see this gentleman walk in. Good looking brother. He looks at me. In my shyness, just initially, I look down like, I'm on the phone with my other coworker. So I'm talking to my coworker. He looks at me. I kind of like bashfully looked away just because you know how it is sometimes, ladies. Like when a man is good looking, he catches you off guard. You don't think that you really looked apart at that moment. So I kind of looked away. Long story short.
Arpane, you just said y'all don't require much. So which one is it?
No, we don't require money. Let her keep talking herself into this hole she's going into.
Right. All right.
He ends up sitting at the bar and he starts talking on the phone. So we eventually lock eyes, and this time I don't look away because the brothers have even told me that if you want a man to approach you or talk to you, you have to give him some type of signal. So I give this brother the signal that, okay, I am attracted to you as well. He ends up calling me over. I move, start sitting next to him, having an amazing conversation. Y'all, our conversation is going so well. The bartender ended up making a comment talking about, when y'all start telling the story of how I met your mother, just make sure you shout me out as the bartender. That's how much me and this man are like enveloped in each other's world. Queen sitting next to me, she ends up asking me to hand her the drink menu. She don't even want to bother us, y'all. She's like, I'm sorry to bother you. Like, could you just hand me the drink menu? Because that's how much me and this man are in each other's world. So I'm in my Sex and the City era. So I ended up asking him a question.
It's funny how she went from Insecure and now she in her Sex and the City era.
That Big asked Carrie when they were first in the car. He tells me his side. He asked me the same question. I start telling him. Y'all, tell me why out of nowhere, I could just tap on my shoulder. Mind you, my food is ready. I should have already left. But once he called me over to sit with him, I'm like, maybe, the coworker that was supposed to take me out to lunch, maybe he missed out his opportunity. So it's a good thing that I went out anyway. I get a step on the shoulder. Girls, tell me why I turn around. The lady asked me, do y'all know each other? I said, no, we don't know each other. I try to introduce myself to her. I say, my name is such and such. How are you? And then she was like, I'm his wife. I said, you're his wife? Like, and then I look back over at him and him and his wife, and now what I know is daughter. I've even tried to introduce myself.
Did you want to stop it?
No, go ahead.
To the daughter, like, how you doing? I asked him when they leave and go to another table. You're married? And he says, yes, that's what I was trying to explain. No, nigga, never did you say you were married. There are two groups of people that deter me from marriage. It's not.
Wait.
You can, if you want to talk a little bit on this before she goes.
Wait. Yeah. So the wife taps her on the shoulder, right? And do you guys know each other? And she says that she is his wife. And he flat out says, well, that's what I was trying to tell you. And then she says, you never were trying to tell me that. Are there mixed signals here? Like,
well, first of all, if you go back,
get to it.
We got to take it back before that moment, okay?
Okay.
From the very moment that he walked in, she let everybody know that she was enamored with this man. She saw him. We don't have none of his impressions because I would imagine he understands that he's probably a decent looking guy and he's a catch. She's telling us all her feelings about this guy. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm playing it coy, shy, this is blah, blah, blah. But she likes the guy off the bat because she said it. So once he talked to her, not only was she willing, she got up and moved from her seat to go where he was as opposed to asking him to come to her. So that's how much she was into him. So listen, he might not have volunteered that he was married, but she didn't ask him either.
Well, she did say that.
No. Wait, hold on. She did not ask that man. She did not ask that man right off the bat, are you married? She could have did that. Now, I'm not absolving him, by the way. I'm not. I'm just saying she didn't ask. Okay, because the way she was feeling about this guy, that should have been one of the first things. I got to clear the first thing up before I go any further because I'm getting into this deep. I'm getting deep in there. I'm liking this dude. I want to know, are you married? That's what she should have did. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead.
I do agree with that. She made a statement saying that, guys wait for a woman to make that eye contact or whatever the case may be so they can know that you're interested in them.
Yeah, it should.
Mm-hmm.
But him being a married man and making the eye contact, is it too much for him to then continue to talk to her, or that is nothing?
Go ahead, Leon. I mean, you can go because I do have an idea of what I want to say next. But go ahead, Leon. Get your.
Maybe she assumed that he wasn't married because he gave her that eye contact, like he wanted to engage with her, right? So, and we're just going by what she's saying. But yeah, she should ask, like, hey, before we go down this road, like, are you married? Like,
your Precious wants to say something so bad. Go ahead.
I'm okay. Let's. So I walk into a restaurant. Sitting somewhere, and I make eye contact with the man.
Right.
And we start to talk. I don't know if one of the first questions I asked him would be, "Is he married?" However, now it may be are you married? Like,
no. But you're right. It didn't have to be the first question, though. It didn't have, because she said, I'm not saying it should have been the first question, but she went through the story how they were vibing so much. So that means, okay, so this is not the first question. They're talking. They're having a conversation, and she's liking this guy, okay? She's liking what he got to say. Now, there's two things. Should he let her get that deep in this conversation as a married man? We could talk about that. But the first thing is, she knows how she's feeling. If she's thinking that there might be a possibility with this dude, she should ask him at some point before his wife. But if you're
a stranger, like,
wait, come on now, women are dapping up strangers all the time. So let's not go there.
I don't know.
We don't know how long. We don't know how long that conversation was, but she told you it was long enough that everybody recognized how much they were vibing.
They probably were sitting there talking for like a few hours.
That's right. The waiter understood it. So she was vibing with this guy. You mean in all of that conversation, she didn't ask him what he intended?
Somebody in a half hour, and somebody could think that I'm vibing with a man.
No, come on. That's not. You're saying that. We're talking about what she said. Come on. No, I'm not trying to. I'm gonna get to the guy. Okay. I'm just on her. She's the one talking, right? That's why I'm talking about her. She's telling us context clues. Just sitting down. She says, I'm into this conversation. We're into it so much that everybody around us, apparently including his wife, recognizes how much they're vibing. Okay. And now we don't know how long, but so he, at some point, if I'm vibing with a woman that much and she's vibing with me, I'm gonna find out whether she's available.
Where my food at? Is it y'all ready? Is it ready? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to know if she's available. Right. So let me say, on his side, he knows if he got a woman ensnared. He knows that, right? A man knows that she's thoroughly, and so but he had to also know his wife was around.
Yeah, because
so he had to also. So I don't know what kind of game he was playing, but here's the one thing. The only thing I'm saying is this: that as a married man, whether you have an affair or not, every so often it's good to know somebody else wants you.
And I was going to ask you, because you married. Yeah. But I was going to ask you because there. What is that? You're married? You're happily married, and because if you ask the question, would you leave your wife for this person? It's like, oh hell no! What do you mean? But there is this. I know someone right now who is heartbroken. Okay.
About what?
And he's married, but he started to talking to this girl, and the girl don't want it. It's like, that's the risk you take for catching feelings.
I'm not talking about that kind of. I'm talking that guy. It sounds a little broken to me. I'm saying that I'm talking about ego strokes. Ego strokes don't necessarily have to be acted upon, and they shouldn't be. If you have that commitment, every so often, as a guy, I would imagine. I don't know if my wife ever felt this way or not. We haven't talked about this, but I know women feel this way. Every so often, they want to know somebody's. They got some attention. Whether they act on it or not is a different story. If we're going to say as Christians, the sin is in the will and all that stuff, I'm not talking about that. But, as I go through it, I had all kinds of co-workers, and I used to go out with the mixed groups and stuff. And some girls were more interested in me than others. And that was enough to say, when I look in the mirror, I see this horror show, but it's still good enough for some people. You know what I'm saying? My wife, and I'm not going to do nothing about it. But it's sometimes just knowing that you ain't on this island as a pariah, especially for men, right? Because we like women, right? We like women. We know what we gave up to have one piece of love for the rest of your life. So just to know that out of the clear blue, somebody says, if you put 2 feet this way and another foot that way, and we get into this kind of situation, you might be able to get lucky. That might be enough. You don't have to act on it. You know, so yeah, I could, you know, and maybe it's not even true. It could be just a figment of your imagination. Yeah, I could have got that. You know, and maybe that's just your own fantasy, and you will never find out if it's true or not. But hey, it's enough. You go home, you kiss your wife, and say, hey, "You dodged the bullet, baby." I'm only joking.
You heard it here first.
I said what?
I say you heard it here first from our page.
Nah, ego strokers. I don't think he was doing that. I think he was leading her on because he knows his wife is there. He knew this was going to come to an end, and I think he shouldn't have put her in that position because he obviously knew she was enamored with him. You know, so he took his ego stroke too far.
Like, yes, that you should have led with that. The fact that she would have to ask a man if he's married and he knows that he's married is crazy. Like, y'all be trying to talk to us like.
Right. So he can't talk to you. Oh, so when I go up to a woman, right? I said, listen, I'm talking to you, so don't worry about it because I'm married, so you don't have to worry about me. I'm not looking at.
No, then she would say you're married, so there's no reason for us to have an in-depth conversation.
So we can't have a conversation.
Gazing at each other, you know.
Like, if that on that same token, she could have asked and got that out of the way. So okay,
no,
listen,
but it's not her responsibility to ask anything. It's his responsibility to know his responsibility in his relationship as a husband. And as a husband, I'm not saying that you can't talk to women, but if you know that this woman looked at you and she, you know, gave you the sign, the bad eyes, that you know what I mean, she's interested,
eyes,
and you continue, you know, to smile, gaze, and all of that for your little ego. You know, it's like
why our ego gotta be little? Why gotta be little ego?
If you still want to know if you got it, you got it. You got the wife. That's what you got.
Here's the thing. I'm just trying to give you some truism because listen, everybody's ego gets stroked once in a while. It's his responsibility for how he acts, but it's her responsibility to protect her feelings.
Of course.
It's not his. It's not his. So listen, so we could both be right in this situation. At some point, if she sees this guy and he's a good-looking guy, the first thing a woman needs to assume that this guy ain't single. The first thing you could, if not nothing married, if a man walks off the street and he looks good, knowing how women are like beasts when it comes to a handsome man, you got to assume that he's got something going on.
I agree with you there.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm just saying, if you're having this conversation at some point in there, you might ask, well, are you attached? You might not say, are you married? Are you attached? Or you or something? But because even if he would have said no, if he would have said yes, I don't think she would have cut the conversation off. I don't think she would have cut it would have just changed the tone and where it was going to go. So get her food later on and they're going to leave and she's going to say, I had a nice conversation with a married man, but it couldn't go nowhere. Right? So, but if she would have asked, or she could have asked him and he said, yeah, I'm married. And she could have been like a lot of modern women saying, oh, okay, well, you know, I'm out tonight. I ain't got nothing else going on. So what's up? The married men are getting laid. You know, so I mean, I'm just trying to say. So he could have said, well, what's up, baby? Yeah, I'm married. So what is it to you?
I just, you know, let's.
What's part two say?
I can say that I won't get married, and it's not to say that I won't have a great marriage. These are just two groups of people that genuinely deter me from marriage. It is married people, that's both men and women that cheat on their husbands, men that cheat on their wives, and just don't understand that they're really holding a huge responsibility in their hand. You're not only married to that person and it's supposed to be doing for them and taking care of them and honoring your vows, you're also indirectly speaking to other people about marriage and an institution. And then the second group of people that deter me from marriage is the group of men who feel like just because like they make a lot of money or they do very well for themselves and they give their family the world, that their loyalty doesn't come with the world. I can only imagine how casually he pulled up on me. This is a common thing. And the way sis tapped on my shoulder and, you know, she already knew to ask me who I was. it gave me the vibe that this is something that she's dealt with before. This is not.
Yeah, like what if she tracked his location?
So you don't think she was there? You don't think he was there to meet her? I don't know whether she. Listen, if she tracked his location and she tracked him down, then their marriage is in big trouble.
Yeah, because like, what is she doing there?
Okay,
Like, how did she get there?
And go ahead, Leon.
Like, how did his wife? Like, what? Like, did they come together and like she went to the bathroom and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give her the googly eyes. I'm gonna try to talk to her."
15 minutes of her life.
I think he went there to meet his wife. I think that he went there to meet his wife. That's what I'm thinking. And so and he didn't see her right away, so he sat down and had a conversation with a nice, lovely woman. Now, this lady, what she just said, a lot of it is true, but she's taking it to the extremes. She's taking it to the extreme.
What's the extreme?
The extremes is that she acts like she doesn't have any. Well, maybe it's true. Maybe she doesn't have any examples of marriages that are working. Men are cheating on the women, women are cheating on the men. And it's just the first time I heard a woman actually admit that the women are cheating on their husbands. And and from that standpoint, and then she talked about the second part is that as a man, the second part I got to get to which I don't know where she was coming from with that one. Just because the guy is friendly and he talks to a woman somehow.
No.
What was this?
Because there are men that because
with money
provide and give you that lifestyle that you can just
see, but I listen. Men that could provide a lifestyle that she's kind of talking about, I think the wives that they have, if they don't tell their wives that they're not going to be monogamous, then they're wrong. Like, for example, I could say, like, these athletes and this whole notion that they cheat and all this and entertainers, if your wife is not a multimillionaire and she's just a regular chick that looks pretty, she got to expect that so many women are coming after you. I tell you, Six Legata says something that was a corollary to a man who has a lot of wealth and might cheat on his wife because he's constantly bombarded by beautiful women. Okay, she said the corollary to that is a beautiful woman who's married, and she's constantly bombarded by men who are offering her shit from around the world. Dollars, offering her gifts all the time, DMs, this, that, the constant pressure. But some of those guys are going to be handsome. Some of those guys are going to be debonair. Some of them guys might have more money than her husband, more this, that. She's married, so she's got certain pressures of life and all this shit, even as a luxury wife. And somebody's offering her something to get away. That's the corollary to a rich man who's balling and have constant women coming after him. That's their challenge. And that challenge is not the same as a regular guy like me or somebody else. Those challenges, you got to almost live it to really understand how deep that part is. Right. So if I'm a rich man and I'm going to get married, I have to have some kind of agreement with my future wife. And she's going to have to accept it or not accept it. Or I could be one of those guys who's just going to be monogamous no matter how much money I have. And I'll fight all the pressures. But if I'm not, it's got to be a conversation that she's got to understand and agree with before y'all get married. And a lot of guys don't do that. That's why these women, act like these guys are going to be monogamous. It's naive. It's stupid. Like if I married a supermodel, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just maybe I got a little bit of money, but she's a supermodel. Guys are constantly hitting on her. I wouldn't marry her if I was too nervous that she might cheat. Like I couldn't marry an actress. Mm-hmm. An actress who does love scenes, I couldn't marry one of those women. Because I don't give a shit whether it's so-called syndicated guys rubbing his Johnson up against you. He's feeling his knobbies and all that shit. I can't handle that. I'm not. So I'm just saying.
Okay, like, turn it off.
Not turn it off. No, what? First, we're not getting married. We could be friends. We could be friends. I'm not marrying you, not because I want you not to do what you want to do. It's because I know I couldn't take it.
Right. Yeah, you got to know what you can't put up with. But so the rich guy who marries the regular smuggler girl, whatever, just like this married man who is talking to this woman at the bar that's not his wife, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that these rich men say part of being over here is that I'm going to be with multiple women? Do you think that that is, I mean, if he can't even, if the man at the bar doesn't want to divulge that he's married, do you think that a married man is going to say to his wife, I make so much money, so expect me to have fun when I
Yes. I mean, before they get married, you got to say it before they get married.
Right, but what my question is, do you think that they're doing that, or do you think that they're just doing whatever they want because they can, because they have the money?
No, okay, yeah, I think that most people don't have meaningful conversations before they get married. That's why our marriage situation is all messed up.
Right.
Most people don't, but it's a conversation that has. So most of them might not, and they just assume that his woman is going to go along, and that's a bad assumption. Okay. So I hate to do this, but I hate to do it.
Okay.
But actually, Future actually said it recently that he wants to be married, but it has to be to a woman who realizes that he's going to be banging out other chicks. If she can't handle that, he can't marry her. He said it straight up. And he'd get a little flack, but he said, and he said it much better than I did. He actually was kind of eloquent at it. He said, "Listen, she got to realize that I'm gonna be, I might be, entertaining once in a while some other honey. So if she wants to marry me,
look, there's some women that will sign up for that."
Exactly, but that's not what the chat says. That's what the comments said.
Well,
and I called them all liars. I said, "You're lying. You're giving away coochie for chicken dinners. You would marry him."
Yeah, they would definitely marry Future. Yeah. But the thing is, it's they know this up front. So the second that they have an issue with it, they'll probably like, I'm just going to replace you because until somebody shows me that they're okay with what I bring, then
we can't go further.
The next, right? But it's the women. It's because I as a woman, you have to also use your brain and know that this man is traveling, he's working, there's business, there's parties, there's whatever. In your mind, you're assuming that he's doing things with other men, but if he was to tell, I mean, Lord Jesus,
well, Jesus Christ, he might be doing that too. That's Jesus
might be doing that too, but that he's not being monogamous. So you have an assumption on one end, and then a man figuring that you are assuming that, like you said, Arpain. I think that not other men, Rain. I don't know. Assuming on both ends makes an ass out of somebody. So I think that communication piece and these behaviors, again, we're not talking about the people, we're going to talk about the behaviors, right? The behaviors of this interaction between this man and this woman at the bar is, you're giving off a behavior like you're a single woman, and I'm matching that energy when I shouldn't be matching that energy. I should be holding a standard and saying, you know what, it was great chatting with you, I have to go. Or you can go as far as thank you for the drink or whatever the case may be. But I my wife is on her way. My gosh,
I'm hearing you, but you know what? In his defense, like it sounds like I'm doing anyway, right? In his defense, she was the one who's talking, so she might have actually liked this guy.
Yeah,
but hold on. She liked this guy, and but it doesn't mean that he would actually do anything with her. We don't know that.
Okay,
we don't know. All we know that it was that she was enamored with him, and he didn't stop her anyway because he was married.
Women, I love how you try to defend that, but
right. Go ahead, tell me.
Men are givers. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all give the D. Let's just be
okay. Yeah, we give it. Yeah.
We receive it. Okay.
I'm with
you. Yes, she per se gave him. She made the first move, right? Let's just say she made the first move with her eyes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
He returned. He hit that ball back over the
right.
right? And then she went over there and sat over there, and
He's giving her verbal energy back. He's
Right?
giving her verbal energy back.
Look,
It
okay.
wasn't like they were
Say y'all are
kissing.
givers. You can give her verbal, you can give her physical, you can give her emotional, you
But
can give
we
her
didn't get to
whatever
the
you're
physical
giving
part.
her,
Yes.
and she's receiving.
Yes,
Yes, if she likes it, she's
Yeah.
going to give it back because that's what we do.
Yeah,
If we like
okay.
it, reciprocate that energy.
So they're
what
having
I'm
this
saying
great
is-
conversation. They have this great conversation. Okay, let's just say they're having this great bonding conversation, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mhm.
He's just saying, I'm talking to this nice honey. I'm here, waiting, whatever. And she's receiving all the energy he's getting, but she's already got them down in the altar and shit like this. She got a ring on her finger and all that.
Nothing
And he's
wrong
like, you know what I'm saying? She got a
There's
ring.
nothing wrong
She
with
got
saying
her
I'm
butt
married, by the way.
naked. She got her butt naked in the room.
No.
And you know what? And he might not even be. He might not even be there. Everything she's saying is basically telling us how much she was enamored with the conversation. We don't have his side of the
Yes,
story.
she liked him. You see the energy of a woman who likes a man. That's the energy of a woman who likes a man. But there's nothing wrong with him saying, I'm married, by the way. Like there's nothing wrong with what's wrong.
So he
with
should have took her off the hook and
back
said,
from saying
no, I agree with you.
What's
I
wrong with
agree
you
with
back
you.
from saying that? And you're right. She probably would have still held on a conversation with him, but she knows it ends right there at that bar. There doesn't have to be a, and the wife coming in and tapping her shoulder. No, I don't know him. We just struck up a conversation because we were both waiting here at the bar. Like, people also have to know how to handle themselves.
I agree with you.
You're not about to come up in here and check me like I'm the other woman, and I just met this man 5 minutes ago. He engaged in conversation. Like, we're not about to do that either. But there's
my agreement does have caveats.
There's a respectful way for a woman to have a conversation with a married man, and being a married man, conduct that conversation accordingly. There's nothing wrong with married men conversing with a single woman at the bar, because it happens all the time. Men can come in, pick up food for the family, okay? But at the end of the day, there's a way to conduct those type of behaviors, so you don't have somebody on the internet talking about how you was giving off this crazy energy, and your wife is tapping her shoulder.
Okay. So here's my thing, right? I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you, but I have caveats. Because one of the things, the caveat is, no matter whether you're right or not, the woman still has to protect her feelings, and she can't leave that up to somebody else to do it. So at some point, even though he could have said to her, hey, by the way, I know you're into this. I know you want to take my clothes off and do all kinds of unspeakable things, but I'm married, okay? And then, or she could have said, gosh, you know what? I'm feeling this guy a lot. Before I do something stupid, let me ask him the one critical question that I need to know. Are you married? And then, and so either way, listen, he could have did what you said, and I agree with you, but she could have also protected herself and said, listen, I'm into this dude. Let me ask him so I can get this shit out of the way. Let me flip a coin and hope that it comes down on tails that he's not married. Okay, and she didn't want to do that because she didn't want to know.
All right, so viewers, women especially, before you give your name, you better pop the question. Are you married?
See that you going all the way over there.
Right here.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you married? Don't even try.
Especially if you like him. If you think you might like this guy, ask him if he's married.
We're not even going there. We're not going
I'm going there.
If you like him. Any conversation.
No, see that you go to the extremes.
Now I sit at the bar.
Are you married?
I sit at the bar and eat a lot, and the women always like probably the first or second thing they ask, are you married? Does anybody think they in a relationship with you or that you don't know about? I'm like, no, and some people are bold enough and they want to know right away before they even actually continue. And other people, they don't want to know. They just be sparking up conversations. Just
Yeah, I don't really want to know you like that. We're just at a bar having a conversation. Like,
okay, what's what this Rain say right here? She said she knew both of her husbands. What's this? What the?
Rain, you got some explaining to do. Rain, you put yourself in this one, boo. I knew both my husbands since I was 14. That's a good way to know everything about them. The link is, oh dang, I ain't pinned the link. I'm gonna have to drop it again.
She's divorced now.
Rain is divorced. Shout out to you. Thanks for being here.
Oh my God.
Once. Wait, I'm divorced once. So you're still married, or okay? We're not gonna make it about Rain.
Tickly wicks.
We're not gonna make it about Rain. So yeah, I was feeling. I was going along with
okay.
That. Like I said, ladies, just are you married him right out the door? Are you married? No, and our pain, I joke, but I wholeheartedly agree with you that women should protect their emotional force field, because we are receivers. So what you give to us, we are going to harbor that, right? No matter if it's good times, bad times, good memories, bad memories, great sex, bad sex, like all of it, we are going to receive it. Right. And there are some women who will lash out about it. There are some women who will just, you know what, I'm out, like, because it just wasn't a good experience for me, or, so knowing the energies that we both have, I think that men would save themselves a lot of heartache and I don't even know if it's really heartache. It could be, because men do find themselves in crazy situations sometimes because they don't divulge. You got to ask the right question. You got to ask the exact correct question. Use the exact words that you're going to give the, the truth to. Like, you know what I mean? It's too much. So I do agree with you that women need to be able to read through all the BS real quick. And if we gotta ask you if you're married, the first thing out of our mouths is,
men don't have a problem.
But then we gotta worry about you lying. Like, it's
no. Don't go there. But listen, asking a man a question, is he married, it's not something a man's gonna take as an affront. If a woman asks me when we start talking up front, am I married? She's giving me a signal. She's giving me a signal that I'm somebody that she might want to talk to. So that's because if she didn't care, she wouldn't ask me, because we ain't talking no more. So if a woman asks you if you're married, she wants to know whether you're somebody worth spending any more time with. That's how I would take that. So I would never be offended by that, right? And most men won't. We'll say if they might lie, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right, and that's why we got.
That'll make us stay here longer than you want to stay here.
Exactly, and we ain't got time.
There you go.
Okay, there really is no end to that. We be here till Jesus comes back.
Exactly.
Moving on. I saw this video, and I believe I have shown videos of this content. They're both content creators, but the content creator that is speaking or answering the question or putting herself in a hot seat, really, she's on tonight's conversation panels a lot, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. Those who are viewing, you probably have seen it too. However, this is how she knows that a man likes her. And like I said, I believe I've shown some variation of this at some point, but we're going to get into this.
Receiving gifts. Yes, no.
Hold on, stream right now. You're putting the cart before the horse.
If you don't buy me anything, I don't know that you like me.
You need a lot of support. So acts of service appears to be a love language for you.
Receiving gifts.
Yes,
no. I'm so receiving gifts. If you don't buy me anything, I don't know that you like me. It is deeply rooted in my life. And I think that for years, people shamed me out of receiving gifts as a love language. Mm-hmm. It is a big thing. I need gifts. I need you to be, and it's so tied into acts of service, but I will not feel the love off of you if you don't buy me things. People think it's superficial. People think that it lacks substance. And it's like, well, maybe you feel better if somebody is like, oh, Donnie, you look so beautiful. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I know. Where is the bag? I told you I lost an AirPod 2 weeks ago. You never thought about replacing it? That is how I feel seen. Mm-hmm. Is that somebody has seen me intimately enough to be able to buy me a great gift. I don't register internally that there's like and support there if you have not bought me something.
Ooh,
First of all, what's up, Coach Ferg?
What's up,
Hey,
Coach?
Ferg, I'm so sorry. I don't know how long you were back there for, so I apologize if you were waiting long because I'm sorry.
First of all, we can see her button about to pop out of her shirt. Where's her bra? Why is she looking like that?
Where's her bra?
And see, these are kind of women like you can't. She would like try to shame you for taking her on a coffee date. Like she would be like, "Oh, I don't do coffee dates, and I'm beneath that. And if you can't take me, here, there." I mean, it's a lot of women that think like this. I mean, it's a shame.
Coach, you got something to say? You start, man.
Okay,
Coach.
How y'all doing, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. How you doing,
man?
man?
Listen,
I can go last on this one. I mean, you just up there. Let you get your 2 cents in.
I mean, I see the video. Listen, man. I don't know how old she is, but she probably in her late 20s, right? I know her mama wasn't. I know her mama wasn't buying her all these gifts when she was young. I know her daddy wasn't doing it. For her to equate her life upon what somebody's giving her as a gift. Oh, I lost the iPad, and you didn't get another one because you're broke. You're broke. That's why you didn't get another iPad. What's an iPad?
Earbud, whatever. Earbud.
Yeah, you expect some guy how he gonna know you lost it? He's just gonna figure it out. You walk around with one in your ear, So, but equate what she's talking about to a bag. I would like to see her high school report card. Some of these women, I need to start seeing their education credentials because there's no logic in it. Maybe she's so smart, she's, a little slow. You got all this book sense but no common sense. But I don't know, man. She wouldn't be in my league anyway. If I met a woman talking about the only thing you got to do is buy me something, I don't think I really would have remembered her the next time I would have, figured it out and I wouldn't have said nothing to her. She could have walked past me going to the bathroom. I would have looked, turned my head like I ain't see her. Because hearing somebody talk like that is just idiotic to me. And they expect the guy to do it. A scammer. See, that sounds like a scammer guy she want. Where my scamming ass niggas at? Y'all buying gifts. They buying gifts. They spend that. They buying gifts. So that's the type of dude she gonna date and go try to shame the dude that get out work at 5:30 that really want to get to know her.
Yeah.
But
no.
Well,
first of all, I don't know if you're done there, Coach. First of all, a guy who gets off of work at 5:30 and is a regular guy has no business talking to a woman like that.
Not at all.
He has no business talking to a woman like that. And as soon as she identifies herself, you got to move on. One of the things I think men do in general is that I think we internalize too much the bad behavior of women. She's a whore. She's actually she's talking about prostitution. She's talking about being a prostitute
before it, and it sounded so flawless.
I'm serious. That's what she's presenting herself at. My love language is you give me something, and the question is, what do I get in return? Right? I get all those nice jugs. I get the body, the warm, silky, smooth love flow that you got. Right? That's what I get for the gifts. And men who are tricks understand that. She wants tricks because tricks love hoes.
Man.
And so she, a regular guy who wants a relationship, has no business talking to a woman like that. And that's why men need to kind of, I don't want to use the word to center themselves. They need to kind of realize that every woman out there ain't for you, and that's okay.
Ooh, I don't even know how to play the devil's advocate on this. But what I will ask is, so are you saying that the way that she's talking is more so like hoe whore prostitute behavior rather than a woman who says, you know what, I like when my man buys me gifts? You know what I mean? I know that you're showing me love because you are buying me gifts. Like, is there a fine line in between that? Because I mean, you know, as a man, you're going to choose a woman who's going to fit your life. And so you're going to be with that woman because she knows how to do the things that you like, or she, you know, you're vocal with that, and she goes along for that ride. Right. So,
Right.
and again, I'm not playing the devil advocate.
No. Go ahead. I hear you.
I'm just trying to, again, the behavior. So is it more of a behavior of a whore?
Listen, I can answer your question.
More of a direct, this is what I like, this is what I want, and so I'm going to let you know that up front, because if not, just know that I don't like I'm not feeling the love from you.
So can we play the video back, and like, did the lady ask her a question, or did she just start blabbering off?
She talked about
well,
love
she probably
language.
didn't ask her question. However,
okay, let's play it again, and I want to answer. I want to answer your question.
Started off with her probably answering it.
If you don't buy me anything, I don't know that you like me.
You need a lot of support, so acts of service appears to be a love language for you.
Receiving gifts.
Receiving gifts.
Yes, no. I'm so like receiving gifts. If you don't buy me anything, I don't know that you like me. It is deeply rooted in my life, and I think that for years.
So she says it's deeply rooted in her life. It's like, who never bought you nothing, girl? Like, were you poor? Was there poverty?
She's been whoring for a long time.
But you know, sometimes they meet like one guy and they might have spoiled them rotten, and she thinks that she's going to get that for the rest of her life. And you know, you got lucky, but you didn't seal the deal. So, good luck.
Yeah, but okay. So this, like I said, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this kind of woman. She's just not for all kinds of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you asked a question. You asked a question, Precious. There's a difference between, because it's funny. The way I gauge my wife, or I think most men should gauge the women, is how they move.
Mm-hmm.
How they move. I mean, just looking at the way how she's got her titties out.
Yeah,
her titties are out, man.
true.
You know, so I don't have to. The context clues are all over. She wants gifts for her time, and that might make her feel good and all that kind of stuff. And more power to her. And there's no shortage of men who would be tricks, right? But the fact that she's on this podcast, I could probably assume that she's not married. Probably might not even want to be married, but the guys who are tricking her are not asking for marriage. They're asking for favors. And it's clear. Now, listen, I've been married. Listen, I've been married a long time. And I don't call my wife anything. I've given her a lot of gifts. You know, I mean, women, you know, my wife likes, but you know what? My wife likes gifts too. But she appreciates the gift that she gets if it serves her purpose. Mm-hmm. And it's a different thing.
You guys are givers, so I don't believe that a man would be with you and never, you know, gift you anything. Like, you know what I mean? But like you said, Arpan, you have to be grateful for what you get, because like I've never grew up spoiled. I never, I don't expect people to do things for me. So whatever it is, it's grateful. I'm not saying that it's like this bare minimum thing, but I'm not making a stink if we go to the Cheesecake Factory because I'm going to get my buffalo glass. Okay. Like, like real down to earth type of thing. It's not, I feel like sometimes women ask of all these things from men and they have this, well, I'm going to get it and he's going to give it to me. And there's going to be a guy who does, X, Y, and Z, but our pain, you hit the nail on the head. It's like there are men for this woman.
Yeah.
There's
no short. Yeah.
It's just not necessarily probably maybe even marriage material. And again, if a man wants to do those things for you, he's going to do those things for you. So it's not going to be something that he's going to know. You should marry someone in knowledge, right? You're not you don't go into it not knowing who you about to marry. If you know your woman like to shop and she like to go to the boutiques or whatever the case may be, you know that about her.
Right.
So you're going to act accordingly. It doesn't have to be something that's like, oh, well, this is deep rooted, I think sometimes father, like that, they're that daddy's girl type of dynamic. Sometimes fathers can actually be the culprit of the deep rootedness of where this comes from, because like I said, my dad did not spoil me by any means necessary. Okay,
he wasn't supposed to.
Right.
Yeah,
but sometimes I would have liked, here's a surprise, but anyways, that's besides.
Yeah, it could be coming from, but I don't think that's this woman's problem. I don't think that's this woman's problem. I don't think that.
But I'm just branching the conversation.
No, you're right. I mean, there's a possibility that's true.
Yeah, sometimes you have women that are like, well, my dad would do that for me. My dad, I like if I go to my dad will give me what I need, and so if you can't live up to that standard, then we can't be together. Like that's a real thing too.
Well, yeah, I know you.
Like in this situation, it our pain. You're right. There's a man for her out there somewhere, and he got, he going look. She gonna do a little. She might do a little.
Not Mike. There's no Mike. There's no Mike too.
Oh, she going for the bag.
There's no Mike too. Listen, the point really is, I'm not worrying about the man who's willing to trick. The problem we have in our relationships, especially men, is that they try to fit women in the boxes that they don't belong in. This woman does not belong in a box of somebody who's wholesome. She doesn't belong there. Okay. And so when we try to force women into these things, that's where the resentment comes in and the conversations go awry. She's perfectly fine where she's at for her and the men who like that kind of women, period. And a man who can handle it, because whoever she has, if he cuffs her and they get married, he can't have no hard times.
None.
Because if he can't afford to bring the gifts in, then it's all over.
Out of there.
It's all over. So you got to know that going in. I mean, come on. I'm telling you, she's a good time. Listen, if I hit like a jackpot of $5,000, I was a single man, and I got a chance to blow it on something. Maybe I say, honey, you know what? We're down here, at the casino. What do you need? I got the room up there. We got the suite, get some champagne. Here's a little bracelet, a little tennis bracelet for a couple of grand. Let's go have some fun. And then I might not even see you in the morning. And then you blow the $5,000 and that's it. And she'd be happy, you're happy, and boom.
She ain't getting no tennis bracelet out paying. She getting some Don Perignon.
Well, she getting a tennis bracelet could cost.
Is that your girl or just somebody you done met? Is that your girl?
No, I'm talking about if you want to be a trick, that's what you do. I mean, tricks spend money.
Yeah, I ain't getting no bracelet though. You might get some cash. You might get some cash.
Yeah, I mean, if she wants
to
dance
for it.
Oh, yeah, put a little cash, put a little bow around the cash, and right on it.
She go dance for it. She go
dance to make you dance.
Yeah, she go dance for it.
There you go.
The whole stack of ones and be like, "This is all yours."
Man, I don't know, man. I just think, you evolve as you see certain things. When I saw her, I could say maybe a year or two ago, I might have said, "Oh man, she's triggering," but no, she's not. She's in a box that she belongs in, and she deserves everything she gets.
Yep. And man got to keep her in that box because there's gonna be some sucker that show up paying for it.
And there's no shortage of suckers who want women. There's absolutely no shortage. We
There's
got an overabundance.
There's no way I would marry a girl or even approach her on TV looking like that. Like that, you see that button about to burst? That button holding on for dear life.
I know about I was trying to I'm telling them, take that bar out of the way. They put that bar there so we can't see. I'm trying to ESP that button off.
You trying to X-ray it off? You trying to X-ray it off?
Okay, hey, always.
She looks perfectly well in that seat to me, man.
Yes,
you know, it looked like a good side boob, you know. Hey man,
she's tired. Yeah, that girl's tired. You know, women put themselves in a position to be tired and still try to stress. It's like they stress themselves out. Mm-hmm. You can see it. Look like she's been caking makeup on. Her posture's bad. You know, it's a lot of variables that I see. They look stressed and tired, and then they get to this thing. Well, money is all I thrive for. Okay. Gifts. What the hell is a? Think about it. Our Payne's been married 35 years, right? I've been married. I'm sure y'all been in relationships. How many damn gifts somebody got to get your ass? How many gifts? How many actual? Think about it. We starting January 1st, damn it. You got a birthday in September. Maybe mothers. If you ain't a mother, you don't get no damn Mother's Day gift. we give each other a gift. You know, birthday, Valentine's Day, a gift. But what kind of gift is somebody gonna be getting you every time I come around and want to get some yam? You got I saw this new Chanel bag that just came out yesterday. You got a man buying shit like new shoes. You know how people get excited when the new Jordans come out. Come on, man, it don't make sense, man. I couldn't do it.
I'll tell you what.
I couldn't talk to nobody like that at all.
I guess you can remember when you was dating. I mean, I remember the days I was dating, man.
I remember all that.
Women, it was just a whole different time. You know, even from the date where if a woman didn't like you, she wouldn't even go out to lunch with you.
Okay,
she was just say, I don't want to be sitting there. You're gonna make my food taste bad. I don't like you. You know, so your money ain't no good here. You know what I'm saying? And that was fine. You know, you go your way, I go.
Yeah, nowadays women can just not like you and sit across from you. It's almost like y'all remember White Chicks
licking their fingers and everything, right?
Texting Ray. Did you say you want a steak? I'm gonna order you a steak. Bring it home. So I'll be home in about an hour.
Ask your brother what he wanted.
Then they got the nerve to try to order their kids something. Like, what is we doing?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, listen, that's just the way it is, man. I don't envy the guys today, man. I really don't. Yeah. And it's much more expensive to date today.
And it has to be, is it not obvious? I would think it's more obvious to men nowadays that, you know, like, would it be obvious? I do think that sometimes guys miss the signs of a woman not liking them. But with a woman liking you, do you miss the signs that she is just there for her benefit?
Well, women, I hate to say this, Precious, women do almost everything for their own benefit.
I think everybody does things for their own benefit.
Yeah, nobody's as cunning about it as women are.
Yeah,
okay.
What do you mean?
No, we're puppy dogs compared to when it comes to doing stuff for our own benefit. We don't compare to women that way. You guys got us beat hands down. Okay.
Hands down.
Hands down. Okay, it sounds bad. I
believe that women do things to their own benefit, so I'm not disagreeing with that.
That's a natural thing. It's a natural. I think the natural inclination is different there. That's why men can't compete on that level with women. We shouldn't.
I was going to say.
And we shouldn't. And so that's
why can't we, Precious? Why can't we? We can.
Because I don't think that it's a competition. I think that men do it. I think that men equally do things for themselves as well.
But it comes down.
That's being an individual.
It comes down to the nature of a man, right? Because most men honor things that they have feelings for.
Okay,
They honor it, meaning that if a man truly is into you, he's not only going to call you, he's going to offer suggestions on things that could probably improve something in a sense. Hey, I was thinking about going on a trip. You think you want to go? Hey, I was thinking about getting some concert tickets. You think you want to go? He's not, hey, Usher's coming in town. I want to go to that concert. A woman, she's telling the man, nigga, go get some tickets without saying, get some tickets. She's only going to think about what she wants to eat instead of saying, babe, I was just thinking I was going to take you out to dinner today.
Who are these women you dating? Like,
no, Precious. See, Precious, step away. You got peers. You see the women outside today, Precious. They loud as
I say to myself, believe it or not, I know I be up in here, you know.
Women are,
and this is all be out in that world, okay?
but see, you can't. So if you're not there, and see, I'm telling you, you can pay attention to your peers, just not your friends, but every woman within 4 years of your age, younger and 4 years older. Pay attention to that group of women, and they're going to tell you specifically, I want some damn gifts. If you want to come over, matter of fact, you can't come over my house because I ain't got no couch. But I want to go to the fancy stuff. They tell you.
As a woman, I would like gifts as well, but I'm not going to tell you that's a requirement for in order for me to know that you like me. Like, you know what I mean?
You don't, Precious. You have morals and values. You was raised.
That doesn't go to say that I don't like gifts. I'm just
but Precious again. But again, if they verbalizing it, you're not going to verbalize it. You're going to say, "Oh, that's so nice" when you get it. He ain't, but she's telling you, nigga, I want the green purse with the orange band over on the side road. You know, the $3,000 bag. Those are dry beggars to me. See, listen at you.
No, yeah, there we go.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a difference, though. You know, and she's one of those, right?
But isn't that? But shouldn't that be? You know what? We don't even. Our pain said it. There are still men out there for her. Okay. There's still men out there for her. They see her coming. She's
the scammers.
She speaks before she gets there.
The scammers.
Look, this is what I want. This is what I'm accustomed to, or this is what I need to make me feel like a woman. There are men that will do that for her, right? And so, scammers. You know,
where my scamming ass niggas at? Spending that money fast. Come on.
That's her. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be men who going to sign up for that program. At the end of the day, there is.
It's been that clan.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a scam.
And I think, you know, and the problem is that not enough men find calm and understanding that every woman's not for them. Yeah, and that's why we got too many men in stuck in red pill rage. Yeah. You know, and of course we got women have a lot of misandry rage themselves, knowing that they're not qualified for all the men they want. Yeah. You know, so that's their problem. You know, men are most men you know, so you know, like I said, you know, when I saw her, I think a few years ago, I might have thought a little bit different, but now I'm thinking about the way I think now as I'm evolving. You just gotta, you know, even at my age, you still gotta keep evolving. You know,
you got me over here chuckling. Okay, he said a few years ago.
A few years ago. You know what I'm saying?
A few years ago.
Yeah, shit. You know, I'm telling you, a few years ago, still a few years ago. You know, anyway, but the truth of the matter is, you live and learn.
You're right. Our pain, you know, I love you. I'll just joke.
That's okay.
Okay. So I saw this video, and this couple is actually divorced, and they come online and they talk about their divorce. And I honestly didn't finish watching it because I was like, you know what? I kind of like where the conversation is going. So let me just save this video, upload it, and bring it in the backstage. So I heard like the first 3, maybe 2 minutes of it. So I'm gonna be in treatment.
Before you play, did you get you got the thing I sent you about the lady who called Dave Ramsey? The guy who called his wife is, I think, pregnant, having another man's baby. And yeah, I sent something to you. If you didn't
send it to the group chat or to me, or
yeah, I sent it to some chat. I don't know whether it's some. Listen, okay. I got it somewhere. It's an interesting conversation, but we'll talk about it. If I can,
you know what? I think you sent it. I think you sent it to me in a message on YouTube. Yeah. Now we can send messages on YouTube. It's a lot. Okay, I'm overloaded.
Yeah. See, I didn't know where I was sending. I just saw this come up. Hey, Real Pressure. I sent it there. So
yeah,
you probably don't freak with that.
What is this?
Yeah, don't worry about it. But I think it's an interesting conversation. If you get it,
okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Up. I'll be trying.
And on YouTube, like you can only chat with somebody if they send you an invite, and you have to accept the invite.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where I remember seeing it on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the divorce chat.
So, what do you feel that led to?
This is the ex-wife speaking to the ex-husband.
Okay.
Where we are today, our divorce, and where we are now.
It's a lot of stuff. I mean, the fact that we both are Aries, we both think we know everything, we both think we're right. And then, most people don't want to take responsibility for nothing. So it's always somebody else's fault.
I think I took responsibility for my part.
No, that's after the fact.
Okay.
I'm saying in any argument, in any situation,
I think that I was not authentic. I wasn't real. I call it, I was asleep. I wasn't present. I was pretending. I was hiding. I wasn't,
But again, no. So we separated as far as, when I met you, you was hanging with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We hung out all the time. That's what we did. So you decide you don't want to do that. And, I've not had no medical conditions that require me to stop being who I am. So
YouTube, I know you're gonna strike this. I know Anita was back there blasting like that. All right, so I'm just letting y'all know now. But as we're going along in this conversation, he's saying, he's voicing, look, when we got together, you would go out with me, cigar lounges, drinking, all of that, and then things changed when they got married.
I'm a cigar smoker. I was a bourbon drinker, and I'm a tequila drinker.
My God, he done moved on to the tequila.
So that's what I do. I smoke cigars, I drink, but I take care of my business. During the daytime, that's what I do. So to me, I handle all my business. So you want me to handle more business, but...
Not necessarily. I think when I called myself waking up, I wanted more for myself.
Girl, I didn't hear this part.
Right. And you did it. I sat there and watched you do the master class. I ain't bother you. I'll let you do whatever you want to do. I always do. I don't have a problem with it. My thing was like, long as it don't bother, don't make me try to make me do anything. And I was good.
Wait. I gotta stop it right there. Because they're talking about her bettering herself and doing what, she wanted to do, I guess, as far as maybe education, career, whatever the case may be. And he, said, look, I'll let you do what you wanted to do. I didn't come into any interference with that. But don't change, I don't want to mess up his words. Sorry.
No, we know where he's going.
I'll let you do whatever you want to do. I always do. I don't have a problem with it. My thing was like, long as it don't bother, don't make me try to make me do anything.
So don't try to make me do anything, right? What do those conversations look like when she says, hey, look, I want to go back to school. I want to, I want to make more money. I want to do X, Y, and Z. that doesn't necessarily force a man to do something that he doesn't want to do, but doesn't it affect him? And it's going to, if you're together, it's going to affect him in some type of way, right?
That's not the problem here. The problem here is that she bought into this trope that she's better in herself, and if he doesn't keep up this whole trope that he needs to keep up with her, and he doesn't want to do that. That's where he's at.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. No, wait a minute. You're not saying that. Listen, he's telling her, if you want to better yourself, that's fine. But she left him because she's thinking he's not any better.
Right.
She left him because she thinks she's leaving him standing still.
Right.
And that's the problem here.
Right.
And that's a modern thinking problem. Listen, there's nothing wrong, like he's not intimidated by her success. He said, go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
but she's saying because he likes his routine, it's not good enough for her anymore because the media and social media got her ear. Because only women who are talking like that are women who are addicted to social media. Because other women say, I'm bettering myself and I need a man at this level of hypergamy, broke their marriage.
Yes.
And and I would like to know as they go on whether she found that so-called man that she's looking for. Because this guy probably would die for her.
Facts. Yes, I believe. I agree everything you said, man. I agree 100%, man. Because he sort of spoke it in his own words. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that, Coach Ferg. That was so rude. Go ahead.
I'm just saying he spoke it right. He's like, man, we riving and grooving already. You know what I'm saying? We building on this. I got my little routine as a man. I ain't out in the streets. I just get my little cigar, my little bourbon. This nigga done got so stressed he done switched up his favorite drink. But see, listen. She's doing her thing. Go to school, baby. I got you. I'm gonna be at the cigar lounge when you gotta study. Call me home when you're through. But she got her ear to the streets. Go to school. We still rolling. He's probably ain't no dude in his 50s trying to go get no damn college degree to prove that he's smart. That's a waste of money. You like F them kids. I'm for myself. She wanted to get her degree, and like Alpine said, she felt like she was coming up and he wasn't, but he the one set her up in that life. And I can tell she's probably a few years younger. And he's like, I'm good. I can meet me a young tender at the cigar lounge and I ain't got to commit all that.
Because he already admitted that everything's still working too. He said, "Oh,
yes, he are like I'm." He said that. He said that, didn't he? He said that.
Men. He said that. No, he said that because he's a smoker and a drinker, and he's saying that he is healthy.
No, that's what you're taking.
I'm telling you what he's
saying.
What
he said, despite me getting my sip on and my smoke on, I'm knocking them down. That's what he's saying. Like I can still,
If you replay that, I'm giving you the context clues. That's exactly what he was talking about. Hey, honey,
he was not talking about that. He was saying, look, even though I'm a cigar smoker and I drink, it's not affecting my vitals. I'm still going to go out and do what I want to do.
What do you think that means?
Well, I don't know. Do smoking and drinking?
Well, I'm trying to tell. We're giving you insight of what he was just telling us.
He's a man.
All righty.
And I was good.
And I think that's what happened. You were unwilling to grow and change and become.
See,
yeah, you're not right. Y'all were right.
See?
Y'all were right.
See?
Y'all were right.
See?
Y'all were right.
I never seen this video, and these sheep look.
Y'all were right. Y'all were right. Not about the.
Yes, we were. You might as well go and put that whole. You might as well go ahead and put that 100 on the test sheet. Go on, that's a 100 score right there.
Oh, man, y'all were right. My motto is for a man anyway. You know, if I come in and you don't change anything, I have to be okay with you the way that you are right then and there. Like if you don't, like I have to like you for everything that you are right then and there. If you don't change anything, I have to be happy with what. And it's not to say that you're not going to get better, or you may not advance, or you may not, do those things. But I think that she even said, I was pretending, I was being fake, I wasn't being real. Girl, this is all your fault. Like, you know what I mean? Because a man is going to be a man, is going to be a man. If he like to do what he like to do, he has his routine. It ain't say the house went up in foreclosure. It didn't say, like, you know what I mean? There's nothing changing in their world where it's like because he's not doing what I'm doing, we're suffering. That's not the case. So y'all are right.
I mean, but what was she expecting him to do? Like was she expecting him to go get a master's too? Like
she just wanted him to do more instead of being okay with.
She wanted him to start wearing cologne and putting on better suits and cleaning up so he could throw his ass off to her new bushy friend. He'll come in there with his little cognac, his scruff, and maybe cigar smoke on his fingers and hands, and she was embarrassed by him. I'm just adding that on, but she's taking her classes and things like that. She's seeing black men in all these other kind of guys.
She's seeing young brothers. She's seeing young dudes. She ain't in class with a whole bunch of 50-year-olds. She's seeing young dudes.
X, Y, and Z, and I'm in here getting an education, and he could be doing the same thing, but he want to go to the cigar. Like that's not your husband. Like that's not somebody that you marry.
I guarantee she studied to be a nurse. She studied to be a nurse. She ain't go to be no engineer, no high power job. She probably got a sociology. I'm just being funny.
I don't know if she.
Let's see what they talk about. Maybe she'll say something more.
I'm watching it for the first time, just like y'all.
And what I'll say, let me reframe change, evolve, right? Because I think every marriage needs an evolution. You can't maintain the same place or the same position or even the same person you were 10 years ago. And for you, it was like, I'm who I am. You felt like you were limited in where you could go.
Ain't that what the Lord said? I am who I am.
she put it on him. You felt like. She said you felt like. That ain't the way the man felt. Listen, we in a comfortable, Precious. We're in a comfortable enough place in life. We done raised the slow ass kids. They ain't begging us for money. We in a home that's probably going to get paid off. Our debts are low. We can go anywhere we want to go. And you talking about just because you went to college for the first time, because slow ass people go 40 years later think they doing something and want to get a debt through their retirement when really she's learning new stuff and feeling like she's better than him based off the fact that she went to school. That's nothing to flex on in your 40s, and you putting yourself in enough debt that could hurt you 20 years down the road, 30 years. You see, people ain't even paying off their student loan from the 80s and 90s. And they ain't being as generous with paying that stuff off now. And you go in your 40s, 50s, and create this debt. If you're not smart enough to get scholarships, take your ass back to Walmart or Amazon or wherever. But don't be trying to create a debt. What about the kids going to college?
Right.
She seen them young things over there too, them young boys. And then my man, it's sad.
Look, get your education whenever you get it. That's what you want to do, but don't make nobody feel dumb because they're not doing what you're doing. That's not right. It's not loving. It's not.
Well, she's
Hola, JT.
Yeah, JT, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, folks?
What's up?
We're gonna keep on with the show, and I'm letting y'all know now because JT, I know you can talk. I know you can. I'm just letting y'all know. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Time here. All right. So we're gonna keep on with this one, and then we got one more left after this.
Okay.
Or either you didn't want to go any further, and that is what was limiting for me.
I'm gonna try to write this book, but the book, my story is what my story is. I've grown for decades, so because I'm not growing in this decade, we're a decade apart. So your process you're a decade behind me. So You know,
So I would say,
in a decade from now, you might not want to be growing no more. You might be done.
Yeah, I agree with that. So in essence, I think that's what happened to us. It was like one person woke up, one person did not want to continue.
No.
Well, for me, it's a wake up, right? Because for me, I felt like, again, I confessed that to you as well.
When I was 52, I took over, you know, I was recreating myself, taking over different departments. I was doing a lot of stuff.
No, I'm not talking about movement. I'm talking about growth. And again, I think you're right about the decade. That makes a huge difference. I think I felt like I became something different, right? And I think that evolution happens in all relationships. And one person decides that, hey, I'm going to stay right here. And you were that guy. You said, hey, I'm good. I'm going to stay where I'm at.
I don't like that behavior. I don't know her, but I don't like the behavior of, and I understand that there is a decade in between them. However, she makes it seem y'all were all I can say is y'all were right. She makes it seem as though now he's a bad guy because he's not going to school or he's not, you know, at the age that he's at, he wants some peace. I mean, I think everybody wants peace, but at the same time, you could peacefully go to school and not, you know, make him feel like he has to be going to school too. Like I just don't. I feel like that's young-minded. Yeah, young-minded. When women, when they say, "Well, what do you want in a man?" Right? Oh well, pre Kevin Samuels time. Right, when women were asked, "What do you want in a man?" and woman would say, "Oh, I want him to have a job, and I want him to, you know, be doing something extra on the side or something like that. I want him to, you know." And it's like, well, why? How come the job is not good enough? Like, why does he have to be doing the extra? Because I want to know that I'm with a go-getter and I'm with a man who's going to hustle and, you know, X, Y, and Z, instead of accepting that he want to work the job that he want to work. He want to come home. He want to go to the cigar lounge. Like, if you can't take those things going in, why even go to the extent of marriage? Like, what exactly do you think is going to? Why do women think that men's routine, like, they bring us into their world? So why would you think that his life is going to be that much more altered because now you're in it and you're going to school?
Well, yeah, she's not being completely honest either, though, when she's talking to him. You know,
she said that.
I don't think she's being completely honest. The point really is, people do fall out of love, and she's making excuses for it. You know, she whatever his usefulness was to her, it was over, and she's blaming it on him and calling it growth, right? And it's not really. Well, first of all, somebody else's position shouldn't govern how you feel, right? I mean, the way he is. I mean, to me, it sounds like all their bills were paid. If they have kids, they were all good.
Right.
There was something that she was craving from a guy that she wanted that he probably never gave her. You know, and now that she's wide open and seeing new things, she wants that. But, you know, you give and take in this world. She might find a guy to give her those things she thinks he's missing, but all the intangibles that this brother did for her, she probably won't get from that guy. And she'll have a different kind of problem.
And the thing about him is, like, you know, the man ain't out here cheat. He's predictable. Like, he's not out here cheating. He's doing what he enjoys. You know, he not bothering nobody. Like he said, he let you do what you needed to do. So, you know,
she took a peek over the fence, and she calls it him not growing. It's just that she wants something different that he's never going to provide. And I don't think he ever provided that. At one point, it was useful enough to her, and now it's not.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just telling them the truth.
I wonder what age they actually got together.
If they were 10 years apart, you know, it could be 10 years apart. It sounds like they're around 10 years apart.
Yeah, they're 10 years apart, but I wonder at what age was she when she got with him? Maybe
He said he was 52 now. So he probably was He probably, man, he might have been in his 30s and she was in her and she was in her 20s.
How long were they married? Did they say?
I don't believe that they said how long they were married for.
They didn't talk about their kids if they have children either, none of that stuff.
No.
What's going on, JT? So,
What's up, man?
how much of this did you see? You just this part that she just played?
Yeah, for the video itself. Yeah. I'm thinking that I did see it before.
Oh, okay.
But one of the problems we have as men, one of the biggest issues we have with marriage, in the moderate days is for the simple fact that women, they have that thing what they want to just change when they think that this is how you get out. I have a problem with marriage because very few people follow the vows. Simple vows. Simple vows. One of the better or worse, through sickness and health, to death parts us, And a lot of women, they end up going against that vow because they feel that, like she said, they grew. You're supposed to grow within your marriage. Marriage is not to save you. It is actually, it does the opposite.
Exposes you.
It exposes you. And a lot of women, I think that they do understand it. I just think that when they get at a certain part of their life, goes to what our pain was just saying, they peek over the fence. And now they're comparing what they have versus what they want. And there we go. It's always been a problem with women. When they get into a marriage, they think that marriage is supposed to be something to aggrandize them. They don't look at it as dutiful. It's the vehicle is actually for a community. It's for their children. It's the things that they do when it comes down to this is how we work through things, right? It's not doom and gloom, and it's not this whole picket fence and, all of these different things. It's only that to people that want to be married and they're doing the things inside that journey of marriage. Most people don't want that. So that's why you got men right now saying that they're not even trying to marry women now.
And you definitely said something key. She didn't want to grow in the marriage. It seems like she just wanted to grow as an individual and got married. And now holding him accountable for some standard that he doesn't have to live up to because she decided she wanted to go to school. So yeah, I don't think that she wanted to grow within the marriage because it's almost like she wanted to change him. And you can't change anyone. You can't change anybody. You just accept who they are and keep it moving. And so, if she wasn't, at first she was accepting of who he is. And at some point she didn't accept it anymore.
So I'm looking at, so evidently she's taking the video, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're divorced already.
Mm-hmm.
So she's talking to him because of what now? She wanted to get closure?
I think it's just social media content, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's closure or nothing. I think it's social media content. And he it seems like she probably initiated this because if not, he probably would have still been married to her. You know what I mean? He probably would have still been in a relationship with her and, going through the emotions of marriage and been in it because he wanted to be married.
Well, even if you look at the beginning of the video and he's trying to explain to her why why the connection was lost and she was cutting him off, wouldn't even let him explain. And that's the problem. A lot of people that get in relationships, they don't know how to talk to each other. If you just listen to people and wait till they finish what they got to say, don't try to put words in their mouth. And like everybody said, why is the camera pointed at him? And why they don't have a tripod set up where the camera's on both of them instead of, it makes him look like he's the culprit of this divorce.
I think she was looking for validation because she see him still moving and grooving, and she done got all these accolades, but she ain't got no man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's looking for validation so she can say to her friends, girl, I've been married, I got my education, da-da-da. And she think the next man is going to validate that she ain't, because I would like to know who filed the divorce, because clearly she felt that he wasn't advancing. You see how she's trying to separate the two, moving and growing. The man said he was taking on different projects at the job. That's hella growing right there, because the job is entrusting you to be more responsible.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I would wonder if he was relaying that to her ass while she's over there studying them damn books and shit. Hey, goddamn it, I got 4 projects. When I go to my bar, let me even chill. But she felt like just because see her feeling again. And that's why I don't like feeling. She felt that her getting her education at 50 years old is going to benefit her and not her family, because she can be as smart as she want to be. Sit your ass in that office room at home and make these 100 bands so we can go on vacation this summer, not to shame me like I ain't doing shit. Goddamn it, I got 5 projects to work. And that's basically what she was doing. But she was trying to validate herself, because people see your ass outside like, damn, girl, I seen him with a nice one. Oh, girl, yeah, that's my old husband. And she ain't getting no man, but I guarantee some nigga knocking her down, one of them little young tenders coming through knocking her down. With her degree over her head.
Yeah, one of the things I see that's a problem, and I know he probably kicking himself in the head when, she put this on social media. Reason being is that we, especially when we love a woman, we still will participate in her goddamn reindeer games.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I learned that shit because I had something similar like that, where it's kind of like an exit, a post-divorce interview, right? I'm not telling you nothing.
Right.
I'm not participating, right? And if you keep pushing the envelope, I'm gonna tell you exactly, directly how I feel, right? And they don't want to hear that, because I'm hearing this man talking. He's being cordial with her, and every time he says something, she corrects it, and then she brings it into her own narrative. So, and I've seen it many a times, and that's when it gets to a point where when you start having men that don't care anymore about you, you're not my wife anymore. They'll stop communicating. One of the things that women feed on is the feedback from us. And it's not for them to make their next relationship better or whatever. I remember a girl that I broke up with, and she said, I just need to know what happened so I don't make the same mistakes in my next relationship. Like, girl, if you don't get off this phone with me, if you don't get yourself off this phone, man. So so a lot of women, they get to a point, because some men just not going to participate in it. They understand exactly what the woman is doing. Nope. And I used to be one of those guys that be like, yeah, you were wrong and I was wrong. That's a mistake.
Yes, sir.
You want her to learn from her mistakes. Don't give her no information other than what is the exact feeling that you have from yourself to her.
Yeah,
if she messed that marriage up, you need to tell her right off the rip, you screwed it up. You need to stand 10 toes down, because she needs to look in that mirror.
And it looks like, him sitting there, he looks like a little defeated a little bit. And it's like, because of the age gap, he is now at an age where, I'm to me, marriage is for life. Like, we're not about to do this thing where it's just like, oh, well, you feel like today, and then like, it's for life to me. So, I'm pretty sure he went in with it that way. And of course, he can still go to his cigar lounges. He can still, go to the bars or whatever. But it's not the same knowing that you had a built-in +1, and because she wanted to go to college and get an education, now you're discarded. Like that's the hurt that men feel from women who aren't ready, who he probably shouldn't have married her, you know what I mean? But
No,
her as a woman, I think it's what Arpain was saying earlier. If her as a woman knew that she didn't like this in this man, because it's not like over time she's like, oh, he's going to the cigar. No, you was a willing participant. Like you said in the beginning, you were a willing part. This was y'all fun. You know what I mean? You participated in his fun. And so if you didn't like that, and that wasn't something that you saw yourself continuously doing, and you wanted to know, you wanted to go to school, like why would you as a woman continue to go on with the relationship? Now I see that here, Arpain, because it is heading towards marriage, right? Like they were married, now they're divorced. And so as a woman in this scenario, because I think a lot of men say this about women too, like, oh, in the beginning she was all down and we was, she was hanging from the chandeliers. Now we marry and she barely want to have a thigh out. And it's like, I understand that there are nuances within that as well, but this situation of him looking like he's in the hot seat and saying, look, you were a willing participant in all of this, and now because I still like to do those things and you don't like to do those things anymore, I feel like I'm being judged by the person that I marry, and you shouldn't be feeling judged by the person you marry. Yeah, you're supposed to make each other better, but I feel like she's judging him in a sense of, better than you type of attitude, that energy.
She judged him before. That's the thing. She's realized I judged this man wrong, and she's trying to seek validation. The only problem with him, like JT said, he's not telling you, get your ugly ass on. What the hell you want? We was ride or die. He made her life so good she could go to school. She ain't talking about how she didn't have to work, because that's what I'm saying. And she realized like he was the best thing I was gonna ever get. Because why are you interviewing your ex-husband about some shit that talk about he wasn't growing? You see the man has grown. You see he's grown, and you didn't show your face, so you being shameful anyway. That's just the way I see it. And he just need to say, you fucked up everything.
Yeah, but that's
what else you need.
That's one of the reasons why she's doing what she's doing to him, because he wasn't willing to put her ass down from the beginning. Right? And telling her where he's coming from. So I think his willingness to try to please her at all costs cost him his marriage. I mean, not for she could go to, because like he looks, like you said, somebody said he looks defeated. He looks defeated in that thing. And if I'm divorced from you, I'm not going to be looking defeated. You know what I'm saying? No. And he's talking to her, and he's still talking to her from a defensive posture.
Right.
As opposed to, and I think, JT said it. I mean, yo, chick, you left me. You left a good thing. And good luck to you finding somebody who will do what I did for you.
Facts. That's it.
All of these highfalutin nigga you want out there or whatever, let's see if you're going to feel that support and that intangible with this guy who could conjugate the verb the way you want him to.
Evidently that didn't happen. Let me tell you the reason why. Because he still gives her access to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What would change her mind? It would change her mind 100 completely, and it'll break her heart to see that man give that to another woman.
Yeah.
And when he tells her, yeah, you can't just be calling me anytime. I'm not gonna disrespect my woman like that. Whew.
Yeah.
That's the worst nightmare.
Yeah, because you can't come over to the house and we have interviews and you interviewing me post-divorce and all of that. Nope, we can't do that anymore. And when he cuts all the access off to her, that's right there when she'll start reflecting.
Yep. Exactly.
I think we finished it. Yeah, we finished it.
Yeah.
Well,
I hate to see. You know what? I take it personally when I see brothers all down and out.
He seemed like a good dude too, don't he? He seemed like a good dude because he sounded nice.
Because I think that, I personally think that, men should have what he want, and if that's not who he, I don't know. I just feel like maybe
she was what he wanted, though.
Exactly, and that's why that look of defeat is so apparent on him, because it's like, I thought I had what I wanted.
That's why I told men, get in the cut as soon as you can with somebody else.
So
tell him again, I'll pay him one more time.
That's the man that says I don't want marriage anymore because someone made me feel this way or made me go through this for nothing, whatever the case may be, whatever reasoning you give yourself. But those and it has nothing to do with him, you know what I mean? And it seems like he may take it out on himself, or I'm not good enough, or those are the thoughts that go through none of y'all heads, but men who've been married and they have gone through some stuff with their ex-wives, and it's like, I'm good, like I'm not even touching that.
I'm gonna ask you this question: where you meet those men at?
Who? What men?
You said how men feel in relationships going through. Where you meet those men at?
I'm looking at one video.
Oh Lord Jesus! You think most men approach?
I don't think most men. No,
divorcing?
I don't think most men are necessarily. I don't think that most men do not want to not get married because of a horrible situation that their ex put them through. But I think that there is a population of men that says, you know what, she did me dirty and I'm good. And the crazy part is, like, she did you dirty, so you're not the bad apple in this situation unless you see yourself that way. And I think that sometimes women can do such a horrible job on men that they start to see themselves that way, and they don't come out of that fog or that, I don't know what it is. It's like Get Out when he was falling deep in the chair. It's like, child, who's stirring the coffee? Who got the tea? Like you're a man, you're a good man. Come up out of that, because a woman would want to be with you, even though that woman messed up her opportunity and her chances with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, men have to know that, like, your value walking on two legs, literally. So why make yourself feel less than that?
I don't think it's that. Well, let me say this. It separates the men, right? For instance, when you have a man that does not feel that he was good enough, that's the man actually that would jump out and get with another woman, right? The thing is that they would do it too fast without vetting women properly, right? And what happens is they keep trying to find that same old thing that they had in their, the relationship that actually was that good relationship. And then it starts, when you start doing it too fast, you start going into a pattern, right? That's why we see women with man after man after man after man, because they think that they can find it again. With men that actually understands their worth, it's not that easy. We'll be by ourselves for 10 years before we give it to another woman, right? The thing is that when we start dating women, we're not the easiest to for a woman to get us to where she wants to be. Being in a couple, being up under the same roof, it's very difficult to get us to do that all over again. We'll keep you at a certain pace. And the thing is that the things that we're asking from you, it's better for us to do it from afar than it is to do once we get you up under the same roof. It's just fucked up for us for that. So what happens is that women get antsy and they start getting anxiety and all kind of shit. Why don't you don't love me? Because if you love me, and the man be like, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're not trying to do what we did in our last one, because that was a good one. That was a good relationship we had. Mm-hmm. But my fear is that you're going to do exactly what she did, grow out of the relationship. Mm-hmm. So you can grow out of a relationship at a distance then, because it's a lot less painful. That's some painful shit to have to deal with. And you got everything together. And next thing you know, because you got your mind on, I'm about to be one with this woman. And the day that you getting ready to do it, though, Precious, this is the day she say we need to talk. And she's going to say something on a total opposite of what you were thinking. Mm-hmm. You probably done got this woman a damn ring, about to make her your fiance, and on that same day, she'll say, I don't think this is good for us. I'm not happy in this relationship. You're not doing what I need you to do.
I think that there is so a man who's been hurt, right, has his issues. If that's what you want to call them, issues. He has his issues and he's in his mind about those things, right? And so when you say you want to do these things from afar, you can't hold a woman accountable for feeling a certain type of way because you held her that far. So now this is the day that you're going to pop the question. You have decided in your mind that now you want to be closer to this woman. You're taking for granted the opportunities that you have had to have that closeness because there are things that are holding you back. Now, a lot of this is not communicated to that woman. So a woman makes a decision for herself. You know, a woman has to, again, going back to what Arpain said, a woman has to protect her own emotional state, period. We can't put that in a man's hands until you're married to him.
So we had a stalemate then.
Right. You're at a stalemate. So that's where one accepts the other, saying, okay, if you want to love from afar, I accept that. I respect that. Right. But there are women who can't respect that.
And we both just illustrated the reason why a lot of people stay single. And that's one of the reasons.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, as well they should, though.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's yeah.
You know, it should be respected. And, you know, it sucks because you might be an awesome couple, but because there's distance and then there's really no direct, you know, women like a man with a plan. So if you ain't got no plan for me, sir, I guess you're going to plan to just stay that far. You know what I mean? Because
it's not only having a plan for her. It's just she's got to fit into. If you got a plan, you got to see the place where she fits into the plan as well. I think one of the biggest problems with men and women now is everything y'all just said. It's intentionality. I think it's the simplest thing. Yeah. If a woman wants to be married and a man wants to be married, okay, they might not be wanting to get married to each other, but they could be exploring that. But there's no intentionality in what's being done, right? Because that means if you're going to be intentional, it by definition makes you have to be honest with the person that you're dealing with, right? So if I'm looking for a wife, at some point you got to tell the chick you're looking for a wife.
Yep.
Right. And no matter what, she said, well, I'm not really looking to get that serious. Then you know what you got. And then it's up to you to decide that, man, well, we can't go no further. Right.
That's why I think it's a young person's thing. I think that young people would be a lot more successful if they had the mindset of someone that needs to get, that wants to get married, right? The problem is that with young folks, we have the older folks telling young folks the woes of marriage, but they're not giving them the tools, right? They're not. So I like what we were just explaining. Look at that, you know what I'm saying? The what happens with divorce. It really puts in a lot of reservations, both on women and men, right? So imagine someone saying that they were married 3 times and they're still trying to get out here and date. I think the chances of them having a successful relationship as far as marriage, I think it's a done deal for the majority of people.
Yeah, but like I said, young or old, first of all, the old people's opinions, let's face it, nobody young wants to hear it. But the one thing you could tell them is not an opinion. I said, and it's not an opinion, it's a fact. You want to be married, you got to be intentional about it. And if that's the only thing I tell you, I would say look up in the definition of being intentional. I don't give a shit how old you are. If you're a young man and you want to be married, you got to be intentional. That means You got to be intentional about a woman you want to marry, and you got to be intentional about the women you have to leave alone on your quest.
Yeah.
And that's the key. If your head is not clear, then your intentionality is bullshit. Because
Okay.
at some point you got,
I said, let the church say amen.
Yeah, man. So at some point you got to click, because you're not going to be able to tell the difference. And a lot of men say we're not affected by all the women we sleep with. It's in a different way. I'm not going to, I can't say I want to be intentional with all the women if I treat them all like pork chops.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I just want to, so you have to say, okay, this woman, I like her, she likes me, but I know we ain't going to go no further. And I know I might have to leave the goodies on the table, because if I go down that road and open that door, there's still some attachment I have to have sex with.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point you're going to say, I got to forgo that. I'm going to regret this because she's so goddamn fine. But she's not the one for me, so I got to move on to the next one. Until I find somebody who we jive with. And the woman has to be kind of the same way from her angle. You can't say you're going to be intentional about the guy and you still got a roster, taking energy from all these other men and telling this guy I'm making him wait because I like him. That's the stupidest shit. I mean, that's
Stupid
the
shit ever.
It's
Yeah.
the craziest reverse
Big old
logic
lie.
I've ever heard, right? So at some point, people who are intentional have to be honest with each other, and they're going to have to, and that's where it begins. And that's the only lesson the young people have to learn from old people. Hell with whether I did it in my 20s or 30s, or you should be doing this, you should be doing that. No, whatever age you are, if you're intentional about it. I'm going to shut up on this. I was never good at taking the SATs and shit like that, right? So when it came time for my daughters to take those tests, I never told them that I was a functional
Rocket
illiterate when it came to that shit. I never said nothing about it. I didn't make no opinions on it. I wanted them to have a fresh idea on their own when taking those tests, right? So I didn't give them opinions on it,
Right.
because I know if I tell them, yeah, man, that test is hard, man.
I'm all scared and stressed out.
I shut my mouth.
Right.
And let them go ahead and thank God I did. So they weren't poisoned by my thoughts. And so when you're with old people, and I'm gonna set up on this one, sometimes we poison the young people with our thoughts.
Yes. I don't necessarily think it's young or old, right? It's the people who have carried around that scorn. They've carried around that hurt because somebody because Lil Ray slept with their girlfriend in high school. He knocked her off when he was 25. I think a lot of that is just dealing with that. And I think I look at the time that I've had to endure dating a woman telling me she don't like me because of my complexion. A woman I never, and this is crazy as I think, because I have conversations about my past with my wife, and she like, boy, your ass was crazy. But I never had issues with a woman just being a woman with me and not combating me about who I was. If I was watching the game, Sunday football all day, I ain't doing no yard work. I ain't doing no store shopping. I ain't doing none of that. I'm sitting down. Bring me something to eat. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no pressure to
make me a sandwich.
It wasn't. I ain't had to ask. It's like, do you want it now or later? You know what I'm saying? But and see it now. I'm worried for my son because he has a good heart. He's not like I was at 23. I tell you, it was different, but he's a good-hearted person, and he's had girlfriends, but he's always been able to stay in front of them, like catch up with me type of stuff. But he wasn't moving around, and now he's seeing life as an adult. He's seeing the women. He's starting to recognize, man, these women just want some money. He said, but I don't know about making, granddaddy and having, getting married, because like, as long as they keep trying to make it transactional, then I don't think it's going to work. And I tell him, keep looking and look for someone who has a me. Meaning, just have a little father that you can roll up on and talk to him. I rather have my son go talk to JT or our pain about, you know what I'm saying, if he gonna be a good man, because y'all gonna ask him the right questions. And that relationship that y'all have, I think, you know what I'm saying, I think a lot of women struggle with that dynamic, because if they can't go to their father for advice about a man, regardless of how mom and dad was, it had nothing to do with them. A lot of them struggle with choosing, because most women want to choose the same type of man. And if it's a man they all like, they'll all pass him around.
Did you have to real quick, did you have to talk to your wife's father before you married?
I talked to him. Yes, I had to go. I met him, went over there.
How about you, JT? Did you have to talk to your wife?
Yes, I had to go talk to him.
So, when I talked to her father, because she didn't, they got a relationship now.
Okay.
But when I talked to her father, it was from the time when I proposed to her. Yeah. So, and it made her relationship with her father a little more stronger, right? Right. So that was the thing and I was glad that I had a chance to meet him, because right now it's kind of like, even though me and her ain't even together anymore, but it's kind of like he's my father too. You know what I'm saying? So I still have that relationship with him. But yeah, traditionally I wanted it to be there because that's all I knew. My parents, my father, he had to ask my grandfather for my mother's hand.
Let me just
we try to emulate that shit.
Let me try to say why I brought that up, because it does something to you when you have to go to another man and put yourself in front of him and say that you want to marry his daughter. Mm-hmm. And you'll have that conversation. And like I said, I remember my father-in-law said to me, he says, listen, I'm going to give you, because I've known him for a while. We had dinners and family. He said, I'm going to give you permission to marry my daughter. I know you're going to do it anyway, but I would like that. And he says, all I ask is that it don't work out, bring her back to me in one piece. I said, man, don't worry. She ain't coming back. She's not coming back. Not at all. I remember that. It's clear as day. He was a cool dude, but he passed away too soon. I think I'd probably be a better man if he would have lived long.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the landscape.
Work for you, Arpain.
Huh?
I said no more 4-letter cuss words.
I think that the landscape has changed so bad. Where going back to what you were saying, Arpain, intentional. I don't think people understand intentional. They just use the term intentional now. But I still, and I'm gonna stand strong on it. I think that it needs to be people being younger to get ready to start a family. They don't have to be married by the time that they're 25, but I just think that women and men alike, I don't think that the more I keep thinking about it, man, we shouldn't be trying to have this whole variety of women and shit like that either. No. It didn't do anything good for us. You know what I'm saying? So that whole concept of men have this proclivity where they have to have sex with as many women as possible in order for them to find the right, wife or something. No, there's no intentions other than to get sex from as many women as possible. And what that ended up leading was that we ended up having a bunch of illegitimate kids. And then our kids end up having a bunch of illegitimate kids. So, yeah. That's why I just said the whole learning that marriage is a builder of community, and the same lesson can be taught to women and men, just different angles, right? Because we're different. And when you're talking about a man building a family, that whole variety thing ain't gonna do nothing but sidetrack us. Have as much fun as you can. You're only young once. No, that's bull. That's bull. By the time you get to be 22 years old, it's about being responsible. It's about being able to pull as much as you can to be on a journey to get wisdom, so you can pass that stuff down to your kids. What we've passed down to our kids is, broken families. And a lot of it is because we made excuses for a bunch of stuff that don't make any sense. And then we will use the Bible to solidify our mumbo jumbo. You know what I'm saying? So just think that if we want to do it, we have to change the way we even think about the landscape of dating and marriage.
Yes, intentional. And when somebody don't want the same thing you don't want, don't try and force it. It's simple.
Facts.
As simple as that. You cause yourself more heartache trying to force something that somebody else don't want.
What could be solutions for those young people? Because it seems like it's a lot of older scoring people in the way. Because JC, I believe everything what you said in regards to for being young, young adult for that, but think about the messaging that they're getting from people who've already sort of, I guess, been walked on in life, whether they've been married, divorced, and that's all I hear, especially on YouTube. It's a lot of that making assumptions about what married people ain't doing, and ain't none of these motherfuckers been married, but they loud as hell. and like you say, the family for the future, where they going with it? I mean, are we just gonna be like, minus 20 million in the next 25 years?
Yeah.
It's like all the dudes gonna be walking around with tight jeans on and blouses and shit.
Women are not.
I'm just saying though.
Women want to be men. Like it's the order is crazy.
I don't want to be alive and seeing it. Although I'm too old and gone, I can't see that walking everywhere you go. The grocery store, to the auto. All of a sudden you go to get your car worked on. There's some dude coming out there. Hey, may I help you? Man, who in the hell? I'm just saying.
What would be kind of dope, y'all? If you had young adults judge each other based off of their parents, right? What if they can get their parents to all have a conversation like what we're having, like what they think about relationships, how to approach it, love, marriage, and what the parents think, right? Because it'll tell you a lot about the girl that you date, and and it'll tell her a lot about you, right? If your parents and her parents talk. And it just be us, and they're not even there. They just the fly on the wall to be able to see it. That'll be crazy.
Yeah,
that'll be some wild, man. Because you literally that right there.
You might be on to something, JT, man. You might be on to something, man. You find you two families like that, man, and you can pull that off.
You could probably pull it off. Because if she out here and you hear her mama, it'd be just her mama, and the mama be like, yeah, fuck a nigga. And I told my daughter that you don't, and I be looking at her like, your mama ain't doing good for you right now with the speaking. She is not a good representative of you. Or you get the daddy. I told my son, get as many women that marriage stuff, man. I mean, if he want to get married, then but his old pops, should be looking at him like,
where you come from?
Is this the stock you come from?
There you go, man. Player out here. That's crazy.
Right. I don't know why my son want to get married. He'll be like, damn.
That actually would be a good show.
Yeah, man.
So we got one more video.
Right. Let's do it.
She left before she left, the title of the show. And it's a man going into some issues he was having with his wife. And he came to some realizations as she got distant from him.
I finally stopped nagging me. That's the day that everything fell apart. Let's talk about it. I spent years saying, why you always on me? Why do we always have to talk about this? Can't you just let this go? We shouldn't even be together. We're not good for each other. We shouldn't be together. And how many times could I say that before she believed me? But I was selfish, and every time she wanted to have a conversation, I took it as criticism because I knew that she was hitting on a nerve and it was right. Every request that she made of me felt like pressure because I was running from accountability. She wanted more communication. She wanted more honesty. She wanted more effort, more connection. And all I could think and all I could say was just get off of my back. And then one day, y'all, she looked me dead in my face. And she said, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't be together. And this big, bad man who kept saying that to her for years finally had it said back to him, and everything inside of me broke. No more hard conversations. No more asking me where I was. No more fighting for date nights. No more pleading. No more asking for change. No more tears. It was just silence. And that woman who I thought was nagging me for so long had actually been fighting for us. She had been reaching for me because she still believed that there was something worth saving. And when she stopped, it wasn't because everything got better. It was because she was done pulling me when I should have been leading the entire time. That silence that I had begged for, she gave it to me, and it became the loudest sound that I had ever heard. And I would have traded every quiet night for one more difficult conversation, because arguments can mean that somebody still believes change is possible, but indifference often means that they've already started grieving the relationship and leaving it while you are still living in it. And I see this all the time with betrayal after it's been exposed. The person who cheated comes to me and they say, "Coach, things are actually so much better now. We don't fight anymore. They don't question me like they used to. We're even intimate again." Then I have to look at them and explain something that completely changes how they see it. It's not because that marriage got healthier. It's because your spouse has released the weight of the marriage. Life feels easier for them because they've lowered the emotional investment. They no longer have any expectations or desires with you. They've released the weight that they were carrying by themselves. So don't confuse a lighter atmosphere with a stronger marriage. The peace that you're celebrating isn't for reconciliation. They have resigned. So if your spouse is still bringing things to you, don't just hear the frustration. I need for you to take that invitation to join them in fighting for the relationship, because one day they will stop asking. And if they do, it may not be because they're finally happy. It may be because they're finally done. I'm Coach Bear. I help couples and individuals break toxic.
All right, Coach Bear. So, do you think that this is an issue in relationships where one person is fighting for the marriage, the relationship, maybe, and the other person takes it as, "Oh, this again, you always want to bring this up. Why we gotta talk about this?" And then that person not necessarily gives you what you want, but returns an energy that you didn't expect to get in return. You didn't expect for them to be like, "You know what? I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We're not going to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You go your way, I'll go my way, and we'll live in this house." Do you think that happens more than people actually?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe so. It doesn't have to be as extreme as he was putting it, but yeah, it's true. It happens. It happens.
So how do people bounce back from that?
Well,
Because
okay.
How do you?
When you say bounce back, right? Sometimes it's nothing to really bounce back from. I think as long as I've been married, one of the things I found out that, the ebbs and flow between a husband and wife doesn't mean that we're going to all evolve and the other person gets exactly what they want. Sometimes they say the best negotiations is when both parties don't get everything they want. You know what I'm saying? And because it's impossible to do that. So I think that whether it's a happy medium or not, there's some things about my spouse, some things about me. I know my wife would wish to change or wish could change. And some things about her, I wish I could change. But I'm resigned to the fact that she's who she is and comfortable with some of that stuff, even if I don't like it all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't raise itself to the level that I'm dissatisfied with the whole piece of work.
Right. Okay.
So what he was talking about was extreme. Well, I shouldn't say extreme, was critical to their marriage. So everything that between you and your spouse, a man or a woman, either way, they ain't all critical. But there's some little things that might be twerky and shit. Like I'm not saying this is part of our relationship. Like I put the toilet paper over this way as opposed to under that way. You know what I'm saying? That's the extreme.
Never put the top on a toothpaste. Right. Like, come on, you took
it. Squeeze the shit from the bottom to the top. There are people wwho argue about those things.
Yeah.
Man, that damn toothpaste, man. I got PTSD, man. Squeeze that shit. You squeeze the toothpaste tube in the middle.
Like, what is going on? Like, bottom up.
Bottom up.
Every drop of that shit.
Oh, you didn't hear it. You didn't hear the point.
Examples. Those are extreme examples. Some things you just get resigned to the fact that my wife is going to squeeze the shit from the middle, no matter how much I say. I'm not saying my wife, but that's just an example.
I'm divorcing.
Right. The answer to that is she gets her own tube of toothpaste.
There you go.
That part.
Yes, there you
Yeah.
go.
That's exactly the answer to that. And so it's not critical, like you said,
That's
but
right.
it's annoying. It's like,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
Y'all on fire about this toothpaste.
look, it's a flip back.
My wife got her own. She don't share mine. She can use it, but she can't share it.
Or you get the flip pad and then it be all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
like, come on. And then I don't like a dirty sink. Like, wipe that toothpaste out. Like, why you gotta have it sitting right? Come on.
Yeah. It's those things that we have to do. But the people, do you know that people will get divorced over those type of things instead of saying, this is, I can fix, those things can get fixed. Like you said, I remember when I said, this is my toothpaste right here. Don't touch it. I bought you yours. She kind of she didn't know if she was offended or if she was like, well, he did fix he fixed the problem. Because I got tired of saying, stop doing this. Because she kept coming back and she was like, you just always fix the doggone you. So, it's like, I'm like, yeah, I don't like that.
And then
I don't like it.
Why don't you think to close the toothpaste?
Yeah.
Why aren't you thinking that? Like, you know what I mean? It's like
I'm going to CVS. I'm going to get your toothpaste, and I'll get mine.
So getting back to this, like, those are the things that that you have to deal with. Some of them are real simple fixes.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how you manage a lot of those things. I really do. So what he was talking about was a big thing.
Yeah.
And if there's certain things that they're never going to talk to you about anymore, some of those things are really critical.
So how about stealing your soap? She said the soap fairy.
Yeah, that's crazy. We got our own soap. I just don't like
violation.
Yeah, I just think I think. What is he doing to where he can't pay attention to his wife a few days a week? I mean, you got married. I would think the streets is something your past, something you can reminisce on, about. And I'm not saying not do it ever, but but if she's asking for it and she's constantly saying, "Talk to me, spend time," and you so rough and tough on the inside, outside that you can't have conversations.
Yeah,
then
I think he was being performative though in his.
Yeah. But what do you? Yeah. I'm just saying if that
but
happened,
the point is still the same. The point is still the same.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me because anybody, whether it's a man or woman, would be ready to get up out of that situation. I don't think, and I think a man wouldn't be as nice as the way he explained it.
Well, men would take, in these days, women and men would take other measures. Again, it'd definitely be where if that man gonna stay, he gonna cheat.
Man.
And the same thing with her.
Accusations. Like, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just saying for both. Yeah, for both that, because that is, and you said it right, Arpain, it's critical. Mm-hmm. And that space right there is critical because it goes to a point where you do have to ask yourself, do I like this woman? Do I trust her? It's a lot of things that you have to ask yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself. And you say, look, it's just not going to work. I'm not feeling her like that. I'm with her because of some other reasons other than I want to make this because he is certain things that he's doing to avoid her. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that whole thing of, when I need to spend time with you, we need to have, it's one of those things where Arpain, you are dead on the money. It's just certain things, man. You just gotta just say, I'm not about to fight this. I like me personally, I don't like sitting down talking about my damn feelings with my woman. So I got to meet her kind of halfway. So what I learned was sometimes I'm going to be brutally honest, right? Especially if this shit been eating me up for a minute, because it kind of closes off the conversation real fast. Just being direct and honest, it's kind of like that type of a thing, because now she has to reflect. Now, it doesn't close the whole conversation off, but she has to have time to, register what I just said, right? Because it came across as like a knife, right? I didn't call out her name. I didn't cuss at her or nothing, but I told her something that was, direct. What is it? Why haven't you been talking to me? Because when I talked to you before and you cut me off and I told you stop cutting me off and you cut me off and you keep cutting me off, I don't want to talk to you now. Now that's that whole fall back. If I argue with him, it's going to be more of the same thing, right. But I'm trying to get him to talk. Okay, we need to come back at this because now she has to but if I sit back, nothing's wrong. It's all fine. She's going to be talking and she's going to be trying to pull and pull and pull. And I'm going back and, just be direct, and it kind of, you can shorten the conversation if you just be direct with your woman. And I think that was one of the things, being a young me, I wish I would have known when I got older. Because that's 2-3 hours I've been in a fucking conversation. I could have been in this conversation, So, yeah. But those are things that you learn as you go. You can't be a person, again, this is where it comes down, our pain, being older and you've never practiced that, right? Especially you 40 years old, now you want to get married and you've never practiced these communication activities. Now you get in there, man, that's difficult.
It's very difficult, if not impossible for some people.
Yeah, it's kind of impossible for some other people. But being, you're doing all of that stuff at 25, 27 years old, by the time you get 30, you already know how to communicate with each other. That's why you'll see women to be like, don't do that in front of him, because they know what ticks him off. Or just don't say certain things in front of her, because that's disrespectful to her. Like, I'm not about to ask my woman none of that stuff. The answer is about to be no. When you're talking to people, why? Because I know her. I know him. Those things don't come from, we just, how people think in those relationships. We're finishing each other's sentences and all of that shit. That's how marriage is. You start finishing each other's sentences when you go through it. You got to go through that. You know what I'm saying? When you start looking like each other,
that's where I'm at right now. We finishing these other sentences. We talk about that now.
Right. That don't come instant. You got to earn that. Right. That's not a superpower.
Sure. Telepathy. You ain't got that. You ain't just staring at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. But
would you say Precious? You said something? I'm missing.
Oh no, I was just joking with guys.
Yeah.
Over here. Well, tonight has been an eventful show, guys.
Absolutely.
Glad that I did not cancel. I actually needed this. It was almost like a woosah. I've had a stressful couple of weeks, and I'm glad that we can have this, conversation and just chill. And like I said, I don't argue with men. We have our different views. Our viewers are engaged. I appreciate you guys for watching and chiming in. I'm glad that we were able to give you a little bit of entertainment on a Wednesday, on a hump day. And you guys definitely enjoy your Thursday. Next week we'll be back again at 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't have any other obligations, so I'll definitely be back next one. Let me just check the calendar. Yeah, the 15th. So yeah, there's nothing special about that day. So yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday. If you guys feel up to it, definitely check out the Adoptee Foster show that we have on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. I know you guys check in and chime in, so I appreciate that. Leon was just on a interview.
Yeah, I got the link. Yep.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was a really good interview. Speaking about his adoption story, and then the interviewers and the host of the podcast, it was so good because they were so intrigued and they had great questions and it flowed so well. So definitely check out that content. I always post the clips of the short clips of our long form content on my Instagram page. So definitely check that out. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and turn on those notifications so you know when we go live. Okay. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, JT. Thank you for Coach Ferg or Payne, Leon. I really appreciate you guys. You don't have to, but you do. We identified some behaviors tonight. And, I'm just going to be, are you married? Are you married? Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
All right, precious.
Take care.
Good night.
Salute.